What's up, party people? Tech File here for another week of some sports takes, analysis, reactions, laughs, and giggles for you
Hey,
all.
Jay.
So we're going to hit that theme music and get right on into it. Welcome to episode 313 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Epic. Give it to me. Put a remix on it. You know what I'm saying?
Coming live from the 313. I'm the Eric J.
Only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door, holding it down for all the women who love sports. Not with us this week. It's Kay Harris, a gentleman.
The gentleman.
Had to take care of some family matters this week. And as you can hear, I'm getting over an illness. I think I had too much fun in Vegas. So excuse the voice this week as we continue on with the pod.
I got that Michael Jordan battle with Tank.
Y'all both had jokes at the same time. I didn't even hear the slander. That came off
she had to sing off for Tank. That's what I heard. Yeah, can't even say nothing. Look at her.
You just making
don't make knees in that motherfucker.
You're making stuff up. You just making stuff up. We'll talk about that when we get to the WNBA part of the show. But before we get into that, some housekeeping for everybody here. As a reminder, y'all, please subscribe to our YouTube page. It does us wonder. We finally crossed that 200 subscriber threshold. As mentioned, we're on our march to 500. So we need all of y'all to head over to the YouTube and subscribe. Even if you listen on the audio version of the podcast, subscribing to our YouTube will do us so much good. So much good to get us to our goal of 500 subscribers, which can help us get on that road to monetization. We're trying to make some money, y'all. We need y'all help with that. So subscribe, hit the notification button so you can know when we go live every Tuesday. It'll do us some good, some real good. No sport fact of the week this week. Game needs a name. Y'all want to do that? Y'all want to just get into the topics?
I'm always down for the game.
Cut to the shits.
Okay. All right. Well, also, we can do that.
All right.
I was trying to find squash in my book because we talked about it last week.
Squash?
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to find squash in my book. I think it was like 103, but I didn't have it. So that's a teaser for next episode. We'll learn a little bit about squash.
There you go. Okay. Well, Tim said he wants to just get into it, so we can just do that right then and there. Deuce did leave us with a couple of beats for us to have as our background music. I feel like getting into mode. And as we get into mode, I just want to give you all a little preview of what to expect from this week's episode of Tech File. So we, of course, are going to do our NFL one things. We're going to talk about, what stood out to us. We're also going to talk about the MLB playoffs a little bit, WNBA finals. And then really the bulk of the show is actually going to be the 2023-24 NBA season preview. So I hope that y'all are excited for that because I'm really looking forward to previewing the season. Like the season kicks off a week from today. NBA basketball is about to be back. So that's going to be the bulk of the show this week. So starting with NFL, 4 things. Tim, what's on your bird to talk about this week?
Let's talk about the fall of the Titans. The land of the undefeated is no longer occupied by anyone.
Yep.
So we had 2 Upset, yeah, 2 upsets on Sunday. One, the 49ers against the Cleveland Browns. No one expected them, especially because they were missing their starting quarterback and their starting running back. To one beat, but actually like not even just stay in the fight with it, because honestly, the way that the 49ers have been playing so far this year, I honestly just felt like that they should go steamroll them. Like, okay, they don't have anything to really produce on offense. Their defense gonna have to stay in the game, but they go be out there for extended amounts of time. Eventually you get tired if you own it too long. So yeah, this should probably be an easy one for them. No,
That
Cleveland
defense.
stuck around, bro. Like, they was doing their thing. Like, especially the corners. Like, they got one of the, I think Cleveland's defense is number 1 or top 5 for sure. But it's like they've been doing pretty well this year. So I wasn't expecting that, nor did I know that about their defense coming into the game. So that was a interesting surprise. And then Philly fell.
Oh boy.
I guess who did they lose against? I was about to say the Jets.
It was the Jets.
They lost the Jets because the Jets didn't have their starting 2 cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Starting 2 corners, I thought A.J. Brown and Smith was about to have a day. I thought Goddard would have had a day because they've had to put so much attention. They probably had to drop the linebackers back a little bit more, so Goddard wouldn't be able to find holes in the zone. I thought because they would have to worry about that, then that would have led to the run game, carving them up. No. The Jets have a really good defense. They've been saying that was highly touted. That's why they went to go get Aaron, because they didn't have the offense to match the defense. But they said, hey, we got one hell of a defense for you. Even missing our starting 2 corners, we can roll with the undefeated team of the NFC and beat them with Zach Wilson. Wasn't bad, but I was shocked. But there is no more, everybody got one in the loss column now.
Yeah, it's funny that it happened this soon, because 2 weeks ago, my NFL One Thing was talking about those 2 teams and when was that L going to come. And we were very confident it was not going to be this at this point in the season. But it was a tale of 2 dominant defenses, like you said. Like, the defenses set the tone in both of those games. Like, Cleveland wanted the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and it was evident. And then the Jets, that defense just came through and was terrorizing. So, no more undefeateds. The 72 Miami Dolphins are somewhere popping some bottles real quick. The record is still intact.
I get it, but also that's like big hater energy. Like, every year you have a party because everybody else lost. Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was a member of the 72 Dolphins, I'd probably be celebrating too.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's my name in history. My name is over there.
it's
I'm the only
history,
one.
whether somebody else
I
do it
don't
or not.
care. You can't be with me. We don't know you. You stay over there.
Big hater energy, like I said.
Keep this
Again,
close to myself.
understandable, but it is matter shit.
Hey, like,
It's 52 of us over here, plus the coaches and shit. Fuck what you talking about? You got more than enough.
I see Serial Sensei in the comments that NFL not for long. The L is inevitable. You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying.
That's fair. That's a bar. I like that.
Eric, what's your NFL One Thing this week?
Before I do mine, like, Tim opened his about the downfall of the Titans. I'm like, that's what you starting with? Like, I know the Titans are doing bad, but
I thought the same thing at first. I was like, wait a second.
what's this brother cooking? My one thing is Packers coming off a bye. Camille, I know you had this set up last week, but you were having too much fun. So I figured we could run it back. Just kind of checking in, state of the team. How were you guys feeling as Packer fans coming out of the bye? What do you want to see change from, the first, 5 games that they played?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think the rest of the season will look like?
What I want to see, first and foremost, is a victory against the Denver Broncos. If we lose to the Denver Broncos, I'm going to have a fit. That is an unserious football team. To me, it looks like the Broncos are clearly just aimlessly
they're getting rid of all their players.
I know. It seems to me like Sean Payton is just trying to tank to get Caleb Williams at this point. Like, that's the only explanation. Like, they just look terrible.
Yeah,
we
they
can't
get
lose.
hurt and they trade them away.
Yeah, we can't lose to them. We thought that this season would be a development season. That's what it's been so far. I would like to see some more consistency from the defense. They might be asking for a lot from the Packers, given the fact that Joe Barry is still at the helm. But again, that's the side of the ball that I expected to kind of carry the weight early on, because that's the side of the ball that's a little bit more established. I expected the offense to have more of the, learning curves and whatnot. So I would also like to see Musgrave get more involved in the offense somehow, some way. More Watson. I will hope that Aaron Jones is healthy. I know a lot of people are, just banking on him coming back and helping that right the ship, but the offensive line is going to have to be able to block and give him some lanes to run through as well. But you can also use Jones in the passing game. So really, I want to see the coaching staff do better. They need to put their players in better positions to succeed than what they have been doing thus far.
I will agree with you on that, because some of the play calls, like, bro, what are we out here doing? Why are we in dime? Why are we in quarter at the goal line?
Goal line.
No, we got 7 DBs on the field at first and goal. What are we doing? What kind of package is that, bro? Like, little simple stuff like that, bro. Like, or run the ball more. But I will say, as far as the Aaron Jones thing go, where people wanted him back, I do too. But the problem, I won't say the problem. My scare currently is that today we signed James Robinson. So
practice squad for now.
But we've also worked him out when Jones first got hurt, and now we're kind of circling the block. I'm like, nah, come on through. I feel like maybe it's because Jones may or may not be healing or getting better the way that we need him to. So they're kind of prepping him to get him prepared to come up here just in case he has to be out just a little longer.
Question for you. Do you think it's more related to Jones's injury or starting to lose faith in Dylan?
See, if I had a buzzer over here, I was going to hit it before you finished it, because I was trying to say both things can be true at the same time, but I wanted to let you finish. I already knew where you was going. And like, both things can be true. Hell, we can't get any production out of Jones because he's not healthy, and we ain't getting no production out of a healthy Dylan. So it's like, why not? We gonna need some kind of boost or something like that. We need a run game. Jordan Love needs a run game. We need one. Like, no matter what they try to do and shit on running backs, you need a running back. You need a run game to have a good offense or decent offense or at least an efficient offense. Play action don't work, and that's Jordan Love's forte. We can't do play action if motherfuckers ain't worried about the run.
That's a fact.
And then don't do a play action when we ain't ran the ball 10 plays in a row. Why the hell would I be faked out by that? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. You got to hit on pretty much all the stuff that I was going to say. Like, Joe Barry and Matt LaFleur need to do a better job. Honestly, Matt LaFleur needs to do his job and get a guy in to do a job on the defensive side. But, yeah, I think Dylan's been a massive disappointment. I do think they need to revamp the offense to a degree, just because, like, if the running game isn't going to produce anything, then you have to do more to get the ball to the playmaker. So if that means more, like, intermediate stuff, more trick play, like whatever you got to do to kind of get the ball into the hands of the guys that can actually make plays, which, there are 2 outside receivers, the rookie, what's his name, Reed?
Yeah.
Like, even get Musgrave. I always figure, is Musgrave or Musgrove?
Grave.
Okay. Musgrave, like, he's at least shown something, not on the deep balls, obviously, but like, once he gets the ball in his hands, like, he can move around a little bit, he got some speed. Like, you need to do a little bit more to kind of make up for the fact that your offensive line is a little patchwork and your running back room is decimated. Like, give Jordan Love a shot and not just drop back and wait for somebody to get open.
And to that point, if you know your offensive line's a little shoddy, then maybe we should get some more quick throws in the, like, let's not try to wait for something to develop. Like, let's do some slants, let's get some outs, let's do some quicker routes and get some of these speedsters and let's see what they can do.
It does seem like they're calling more longer developing plays this year, because I'm like, there are several times watching Love, I'm like, bro, get the ball out your hands. What are you waiting for? I'm seeing somebody streak a girl, like, what are you holding on to it for? Because he's waiting for the shot up the field.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's there. Now, I applaud the effort to want to stretch the field, truly. My guy, you got to bring this accuracy rating up, bro. Like, you got to get that number up.
I feel it.
People ain't gonna be worried about you hitting the long ball if you only shooting 50%, bro. Like, have them scared that you're gonna go 7 for 10 and then take the shots or something.
Yeah.
Or hell, have a run game so you can take the shots off the play action that probably open up a little bit better.
And I mean, like, I'm not sure how it is still stacking up now after this Packers buying this past week of football action, but I know Jordan Love was leading the NFL in like average yard per attempt. Like, that man was airing it out. And like, I respect it. I like to see it. That was one thing before the season started. I wanted to see the Packers attack the middle of the field a little bit more often. But like, we also have to take what the defense is giving us at times. And right now, a lot of the coverages that you're seeing, they're playing for the run, and they're able to just kind of, like, they don't have to even rush that many in pass rush because they're able to just defend. So we get some more quick passes out. I would love to see that. And my last thing I'm going to say about the Packers, I don't want to hear Matt LaFleur come to not another press conference and talk about something that he's in control of. I don't want to hear no more, I guess we got to find more ways to get the ball in the hands of our running backs. You're the play caller. Like, that's you. Change it then. Like, do something.
So we do something out, man. This sheet, they gave me the wrong sheet this week. They had no run plays on it. And I don't know what to tell you. You gotta figure something out. Somebody gotta print the right shit around here. Something.
To your point, Camille. Like, yeah, I think that's the number one thing that I want to see is just clean up the low-hanging fruit stuff. Like, clean up the penalties, clean up the mental error, like the dumb stuff that is within your control. Like, if it's we're young, you know, we're still learning, we're still gaining experience, that's one thing. But discipline, Deion Sanders, discipline is one thing that coaching can control to a certain degree. And because you don't have so many established veterans, like, you can actually use, you know, I'll bench your ass if you get a penalty. You know what I mean? Like, use it is. It's a development year. That's the nice way to put it. So use that to your advantage. Like, use it to install, like, hey, this is zero tolerance. We're not running shit. Like, I always bring stuff back to basketball because that's what I know. But like Marjon Beauchamp was talking about how last year, if he fouled one time, like, he was coming off the court immediately. It's like, yeah, that teaches you not to foul when you're playing defense. So to that end, in football, it's like, if you make a mistake, hey, bro, no, we're not allowing that. Like, come sit by me, take a beat. You know, maybe you're tired, maybe your brain's a little bit somewhere else. Like, come sit by me. We'll watch the game together, and then you go back out there and not make that mistake again. Like, that it's one-on-one, it's basic stuff. But again, like, you're a young team, you're developing. Like, use that. Use the cover of that, because next year, training will be on the hot seat if this same stuff is still happening. So use it to your advantage now.
Real quick, to Jordan Love's accuracy issues that I was talking about earlier, he is number, what's that, 31, 32, 33, 34, 34 of 36.
Yeah.
At the bottom. PJ Walker and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, both of the Cleveland Browns backups, are the only two people underneath him. Everybody else is above him.
He used to be above Zach Wilson at least.
Zach Wilson done jumped over Kenny Pickett, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Andy Dalton, and Jordan Love.
Hey, listen.
Right behind Stafford.
Listen.
One thing, Anthony Richardson, like, it sucks that dude's out for a season, but my brother has got to learn how to slide because, man, like,
we said
every time he came back in, he get hurt right away. It's like,
these dudes as big as you are, bro. You just can't run them over.
My NFL one thing this week was Aaron Rodgers out here throwing footballs already.
Dude, he is hell bent on
that crap
coming back. Listen, I'm not gonna hold you, man. Listen, this is already gonna be a modern science miracle for him to come back in the same season that he tore an Achilles. That would be
at the age of 39.
At 39, if this man comes back and is able to play football before the damn season is over, I'm screaming conspiracy. I'm gonna find the biggest goddamn hoodie and I'm throwing that bitch on. And I'm saying he paid motherfuckers off and actors and all of that shit because boy ain't no way. Somebody was like, "You seen his leg?" I said he had a pack of rubber bands in the back. Goddamn it, because the way he moving right now, ain't no way in hell somebody that tore their Achilles at 39 years old coming back within months.
Hey, he said he got this new surgery. It's not a traditional.
Why he the only one?
Hey, it's experimental. who else gonna try some experimental stuff like this outside? Like Aaron Rodgers is a perfect candidate to try some experimental certain to try to get himself something with dolphins. I see Cheesehead Fred in the comments and all that dolphin sex is part of why Aaron Rodgers is coming back so quickly. Listen, he himself said, like, yo, pump the brakes a bit. I am ahead of schedule, but not ahead of schedule where I'm gonna be back in like 2 weeks, which is I felt like realistic. But I guess some people are already thinking like, man, he's gonna be back soon. So he still has some milestones to clear. But it's amazing to me that he's already out of a walking boot, able to throw a football.
30 days.
It's crazy.
30 damn days. It's 10 weeks left in the regular season, and they're hoping that he's back by the end of the regular season to play all playoff games, which means he has 10 weeks to get his ass back on. That'd be, you know how wild and how much I would to say, nah, don't do it, but wild that shit would be if he did that.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Give me my first. Stop playing with me.
We don't get that. That's out the window. We ain't getting that 65.
Yeah, you mother scrunchies.
We ain't getting that 65 because playoff snaps don't count. It's just regular season. So that's out.
First time my man sprint, like his leg gonna look like Alex Smith.
No, we ain't. No, I don't want to.
In career, Alex was a lot of like a lot of teams could have used.
I'm not talking about like his play. I'm just saying like what his leg actually. Have you seen Alex Smith's leg?
What it like
that thing looked like it's in cursive.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Hey, Google it, y'all. Tell me.
I don't think I want to see a cursive leg.
You don't. I'm just saying that's what it looked like.
Sheesh, I don't think I want to see that.
That's crazy. That's wild. Camille face took me out. That shit was funny.
Ooh, all right. Ken's one thing, he's not here, but he did drop it. He pointed out the fact that Tyreek Hill is 186 yards away from 1,000 yards. It's week 6.
Yeah. I got him on my fantasy team.
Oh, I know you happy.
He's pick number 1. Well, I was number 6, but like still.
He was your first round pick. That's a good
pick. Hell yeah.
Thought that Dolphins offense is historic. They doing some crazy stuff.
Tua airing that bitch out.
Facts. And then the running game is just.
He ain't even got to throw that motherfucker 5 yards. Not even 5. Here, take the ball. Reek. He gone, my nigga. Give the ball off to Mostert. He's gone. Wow. He is gone, bro. They are fucking getting little out there in Miami. It's crazy. As fast as they running on offense, they let motherfuckers do the same shit to them on defense, though. That's the funny part. Like, it's crazy. They giving them up as fast as they putting them up. Like, no, they wilding out there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay.
It's been fun, though.
It is. It's been fun to watch. Quick MLB postseason check-in here. My neighbors is going crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. I hope they all right. ALCS. We got Houston up against Texas. So all Texas ALCS. Right now, Texas leads 2-0.
Yeah, I expected Texas to come out of there. I think I told y'all that when I gave my my Brewer thing. I told them, well, if I'm being realistic, I had Texas.
I remember you very clearly saying, "Don't nobody want to smoke with the Braves."
They don't, and motherfucking Phillies went over there and smoked. I didn't expect Phillies. I did not expect the. But then also the Diamondbacks went over and just cruised right past the Dodgers, which I said we got a shot. Cats got a shot with the Dodgers. I didn't think nobody had a shot with the Braves, but okay, Philly.
NLCS that I don't think most people expected with the Diamondbacks and the Phillies here, and Philly currently leads 1-0. I do got to say, Harper.
Bryce Harper?
That home run celebration he had on his 31st birthday where he hit the home run and he had a 3 and a 1 in one hand and blew out the candles and then he ran. I was like, that's cold. That's cold.
Bryce Harper's always been like he was that hyped.
He was a dude in Washington.
It's
tripping me out. It is tripping me out that Bryce Harper is in his 30s now. Like I saw a video of Sidney Crosby and wasn't it Connor Bedard, like the new kid, and they're doing like pop culture quizzes, and Sidney Crosby is like the old head, like with the kid. I'm like, damn, we really getting old because like
he was a rookie.
Bryce Harper was like the young little punk that like skipped last year of high school to go to the pros.
Yeah,
he was just 17 and now he's 31. Like, when did that happen?
He's been the same size since 16, and they has been on his ass since then. And now he could be close to shit. Hell, Evan Longoria. We were just talking about him when he was on the break. Like, damn, we didn't even realize he was still playing, my guy.
Yeah, listen.
Like, and those cats were rookie, third-year phenoms. Shit, Miguel Cabrera, who was around kicking it when he signed his 10-year, $300 million contract, or $200 million. Now he gone.
Shoot, I remember him being like the young blue chip prospect on the Marlins coming up. Like, I think that year they won I was about to say World Cup, Jesus. World Series. Like the second one that they won. Like he was the young player on that team with like Dontrell Willis and Juan Pierre and all those dudes. So yeah, it's like to any, I don't know how many young viewers we have, but if you're all young and you listen to us, just know you don't stay that way forever. By the time all these dudes, one day you're gonna look up and you're 35.
That's a fact.
No, I got a couple more months. Don't do that to me.
I said this to
a couple weeks. You gonna wake up and you're 35?
Hell no, months. Leave me alone.
I had said to some people I went to high school, like, you realize we started high school 20 years ago? And they were like, for me, my group, I started high school 20 years ago. 03.
Somebody that I went to middle school with that was in my grade, and I think she went to high school with Ken. She posted a picture of her grandchild this week.
Oh, no.
I'm like, we grandparents now. What the fuck?
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
I'm already a great auntie, so it comes quick.
It
comes quick.
Hey.
One last baseball thing before we move on to WNBA finals. One thing I love about the sport of baseball is that the players all be wearing chains. And I love to just kind of see what the swag of each player is going. Like, that's what I look forward to seeing. Like, which player on this team got the most swag? Whose chain is like really out here dripping? Because baseball is like the only sport where everybody got chains on for the most part, and I love to see it. Okay,
because they got money,
big money.
Yeah, because it was always tradition. It was always a button-down sport.
Yeah, and now they be out there. Like, some dudes be having like the Cuban links, and some dudes be having just the straight diamonds. I'm like, sheesh. I love to see it.
Shout out to my boy Tim Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came out there trying to be swaggy.
I'd be out there with Cuban links.
I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. will make baseball swaggy though. If we just go
with the backwards cap,
bro.
And that was scandalous back in the day,
right? Times change. Okay. WNBA finals. So currently, the Las Vegas Aces lead the New York Liberty 2-1. This series was up 2-0. The Aces swept at home. They did their job. I was at game 2 of the WNBA finals, and I'm going to do a little story time if you gentlemen don't mind, because I haven't even really told y'all.
ISO Camille, where's my popcorn? If I'd have known, I'd have got me a snack. Sam!
So I want to say shout out to Kiera and shout out to my bestie Erica. Listen, Kiera hooked me up. I got to sit in the Aces the Aces suite with the rest of all like the Aces fans.
Big time.
No, that's not big time. That's knowing people. That's going back to me and Kiera playing the Michael Jackson Experience game in college. Like, we go back. So she let me come with her as a guest to the game, and I ain't never watched a basketball game in a suite before, period. So this was my first time in that environment, and just, man, first WNBA game, period, was a finals game. The environment was crazy. Like, even before tip-off, like, it was just like electric in the building. And then we sitting there, and it's just like, see, Slide knows the good old days. He was up in there with us playing Michael Jackson Experience.
Slide, don't co-sign this famous nigga.
I'm not famous, fam. I just happen to know a couple of people.
That's what famous people say.
I may know somebody or two. I may know a guy for that.
I mean, like to y'all,
you ain't got seats.
Rock from back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, just a brother from Chicago.
Hey, they ain't got no seats on the floor. No, you in the box. Okay, that works.
So, first of all, I forgot that Joe Brown, who used to do the PA or like the announcing, what do you call it? The crowd hype man for the Bucks. He was here for the championship season. I forgot that he was in LA or in Vegas now doing that for the Aces. So it was cool.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does the Aces stuff now.
Oh, we kicked their ass in kickball, and then he bounced. I guess.
Here you go.
Hell yeah.
For love or whatever. I was sitting next to Kelsey Plum's coach from like 3rd grade or something. Some of the nicest, they were so nice. Like me and the two of them, we was up cheering. We was sitting there dabbing each other up. Like
just a pleasant experience. I'm hearing.
Just all love. Man, listen, first of all, she was like, oh, something like, what kind of shoes are you wearing? What shoes are you wearing? I said, oh, these Air Max, these light.
Oh, here she go.
And she was like, "Those are really nice. Did you wear them to actually like, do stuff?" And I said, "No, the way my knees are set up, I don't do any athletic endeavors. Like that is long gone." And she said, "What do you mean long gone? You're like 18, right?" And I said, "You're sweet. You're sweet. I appreciate that. You can double that dang near."
That's a nice. That's. I feel like that's too far back.
I was like,
I give you like 24. Like 24 was still like a great compliment. You still young and vibrant and stuff. 18 still like you still kind of.
I'll take it.
Like, are you telling a woman like you trying to walk back the compliment? Like,
no, like,
she's 18 too. You don't look that young.
Right. You like 18-year-olds? You like 18-year-olds? They look good. You're like, nah, I ain't got time for that shit. He's about 24.
But so just the sweet experience, real quick. Then we can talk about the game in itself. We were sitting there. Kalani walked in. She's apparently a big Aces fan. Keith Lee came in. I was like, oh shoot, that's what's up. The next thing I knew, I was sitting there. I was like, is that Jake from State Farm?
Mr. National Commercials.
Dog, he was so nice. There's plenty people come to him. And he's just like, oh yeah, what's up? Tank did the national anthem.
Oh, did he?
He did. He trapped it out. I'm not sure if
y'all worked on the falsetto before he went out.
No, listen. I've never heard somebody trap out the national anthem before Tank did it. I've never heard the national anthem sang that way before. And then the man kept doing ad-libs at the end of the song. I was like, okay, Tank, you that's different right there. He came into the suite later on. Like, it was a dope experience. And watching the Aces just blow the doors off the Liberty, like, it was like Asia Wilson couldn't miss. Kelsey Plum was just doing whatever she wanted to. Chelsea Gray dishing and diamond, dog. Watching Chelsea Gray in person, her control of the game, because her speed, she is so good at that misdirect. She doesn't move really quick. It's very like deliberate. And watching her hoop was an experience. I was like cold. I was like, this is why my 2K player is wearing her jersey as we speak. Like cold. And the whole arena was just partying for the most part. Even in the fourth quarter, the crowd was still bringing it because they trying to get their free slices. They got them too. Like it was a great experience. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. I enjoyed that experience. I said, yes, this was a time. 2-0. I hope this is wrapped up quickly now. Like I felt like the family environment. I'm like, yeah, I hope
you're the fam now.
And we that night.
I said, I hope y'all do sweet. Then they went back to New York. And the Liberty said, Even before Chelsea Gray got hurt, they was running it up. The series is now 2-1. No WNBA team has ever come back to win a title after trailing 2-0.
I seen something where they said that some article was, and it could have been fictitious, but some article on X was talking about the headline was about the win, and then somebody retweeted, it was like, yeah, it's all good, but we couldn't even practice in the gym that we supposed to be shooting in, this, that, and the third. Was that fictitious? Okay. Because I seen it earlier, I was like, let me wait. I'm reading this, but I didn't get a chance to really dig into it to find out or not. But I figured you guys might know.
But one to the atmosphere in game 2, like that came across on television. Like that place seemed like a madhouse. And the Aces just couldn't miss in the first quarter. And Chelsea Gray, like, I think she might just be full stop my favorite basketball player. Men, women, whatever. You okay, Camille? You look like you good.
Yeah, she need a minute. Keep on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chelsea Gray might just be my favorite basketball player. Full stop. Like, she be hooping, and it's weird because like she run like she don't bend her knees. she do like it's a very stilted run, but she get where she needs to go.
She don't
like
bend
Camille said,
knees.
it's very deliberate. Like she knows exactly what move she wants to make, and how she wants to make it. So it's effective as hell. Like it feels like every time the Aces need a bucket, she's there. So they're really gonna miss her in game 4. Like her and Kiestos have both been ruled out for game 4. And are questionable for game 5 at best. So, like Camille, I thought it was a wrap after game 2. Like I didn't think it was going to be a sweep at that point because the Liberty are just too good. But I did think that it was. I thought that the Aces had it handily. But yeah, like this opens the door right back up. And the Aces already weren't a deep team, so to be down 2 of their established 6 rotation pieces is tough. So hopefully, as an Aces fan, hopefully they're able to pull it through. But New York's back in it for sure.
Well, the Aces haven't won in New York this season either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? And then was that when they had the mid-season tournament thing? Was that in New York? Because they lost to the Liberty in the little mid-season tournament too, right? Because they had the Commissioner's Cup. So because they beat the Liberty, ended up beating the Aces then. So I mean, that's when we kind of thought that they would probably give them a problem in the finals anyway. And that's when everyone was like, "No, this is the finals that we need to see." So I don't put it past them. But you said no team has never done it. Don't mean no team can't do it. And Liberty got a pretty decent squad to be able to be one of those teams to be able to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Jacqueline Jones has been balling her ass off. Like
she didn't
have that was the like. First of all, she was the only one that really showed up in game 2, and in game 3, she was like, "We're not losing this game." Like she was hitting threes, she was just dominating the post. Like Asia's cold, but the Aces couldn't do shit with Jonquel in game 3. And like they really haven't gotten. Like Breanna Stewart has been okay, but they haven't really gotten like Breanna Stewart this series. And then Sabrina and Sloot have been subpar by their own standards. It was really been Jonquel putting the team on her back. So if the Aces can keep up the defensive pressure and keep making things difficult for the guards, then hopefully that means they can shade a little bit more attention to Jonquel, and that ends up being the difference. But don't change anything you know to Breanna Stewart because it's working.
Right.
So I don't know. They're, like I joked before the series, like I hope it's a sweep. But these are 2 very evenly matched teams, and especially more so now with the injuries to the Aces.
I'm gonna tune in for game 4. I'm trying to figure out what they got going on around here, bro. Oh, speaking of games, I didn't even realize the game started for the Bucks.
Yep. Game 4 is tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m. on ESPN. This cough tried to take your girl out.
Yeah, I seen it, bro. I had a hold on you.
Bro, listen.
Let her live.
I felt like my body temperature done went up like 2 degrees.
Yikes.
All right, but luckily, we're getting ready to go into the NBA preview. I'm not leading this section, so I get to rest my voice a little bit here.
All right. Yeah, like Camille said at the beginning of the show, we are T-minus 1 week, 7 days away from the start of the NBA season. So we figured we could hijack this episode to make it our annual NBA preview. If you've been around for previous NBA preview episodes, you'll know that we typically look at some of the results from the NBA GM survey that comes out every preseason. Kind of give our answers, our takes on what the GM select, and then we make our predictions. So that's standings, all-star predictions, playoff predictions, and then finals, and then like end of year awards. So I guess we can start with some of the GM survey stuff. They went through and asked who's the best player at each position. So we'll run down that in order. So we'll start with point guards. Tim, who you got? Best point guard in the league.
I don't know if Tim here.
Everybody go. Okay, Camille, who you got?
I got Steph. That's still Steph to me.
Yeah, I also had Steph, and as did Ken, and the GMs also said Steph. To the tune of, I'm not gonna keep doing this, but best point guard, Steph was 63%. Luka, Shea, and Dame rounded out the top 4. He also didn't put his answers in the document, so I don't know what Tim would say, but I'm gonna assume it's Steph. Best 2 guard, Miss Camille.
I know last year we were talking about this, and I mentioned the fact that I had Book.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not as much competition at that 2 guard spot. I felt like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna still ride with Devin Booker being the best 2 guard in the NBA. Although there's some other guys coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Ken also said Booker. I just wanted to be different, so I said Shea, which he's making me look good right now because he is cooking the Bucks. It's only been like 3 minutes. But yeah, Book, Shea, Anthony Edwards, if you want to classify him as a 2, I do. But
I do too.
Yeah, those would be the 3 to me that have kind of said. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, if you want to throw him in there, whichever one of the Jays in Boston you want to call the 2. Hell, if you well, I'm not gonna say Drew Holiday's up there, but like there's more competition. I feel like at the 2 now than there has been in some years. Again, Booker won via the general managers. He also got 63% of votes, so that's the same as Steph. Well, the same that Steph got for best point guard. Rounding out the other people that got votes was Steph, Luka, and Shea. So it's like Luka is the definition of positionless, like positionless. So I didn't really know where to put him, so I just stuck him at small forward. But he got votes for best point guard, best shooting guard, and best small forward.
I will say real quick too to everybody who's in the comments, let us know who you think heading into the season are the best players at each position: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center.
For sure. Yeah. So I had Luka at best small forward. Who you got, Camille?
Jason Tatum. That young bull in Boston. I've tried because of my Boston hate to not like him. But I love the way that kid plays, like 2-way, silky smooth offensive game. I like him off the court. I just like Jason Tatum.
Now my Boston hate is just too strong. So you got well, actually, Tim, backing up, who you got for best point guard and shooting guard?
1 is Steph. 2 would be. I feel like 2. I'm with you on Shea. Like, I've been champion Shea for a little bit now, but like, no, I feel like he's still continuously growing, and the man's bag of tricks is bigger than Felix's at this point, though. Like, it's crazy. But I fuck with Shea at 2. 3, I thought Durant was a 3.
Yeah, but if you want,
we played 3-4, right?
If you want to say Durant's the best 3,
yo,
go ahead.
Definition, brother.
And while you thinking, what up to Dwayne and Dooch in the comments? We see y'all.
Well, Ken has LeBron, so if you want to call KD a 3, he's more of a 3 than LeBron is at this stage.
That's a fact. LeBron's definitely more of a 4 now.
Yeah. No, I think I still roll with, like you said, I like Tatum too, but he's too inconsistent for me. I like KD's consistency. Hell yeah. Like, Tatum will have those stretches where that's part of the reason why Boston hasn't won too. Tatum will show up when you need him to and put up the 60-pointer or the 50-pointer or the 45-pointer or whatever like that. But then Tatum will diss up here too. And you'd be like, Brown typically especially in the postseason, has been more consistent than Tatum. He can't handle the ball for shit. But he has been more consistent than Tatum when it has come to the games and stuff like that. Tatum will give you those. He will pop for those games. That's why people are like, I'm waiting on that Tatum game. I'm waiting on that Tatum game because he's gonna show up. He's gonna do it, but it's not a Tatum game every game. He'll have those stretches and those runs where KD is like, damn, it's damn near automatic. KD still to this day.
I mean,
so
when he played Boston in the playoffs, they sure did shut him up.
Yeah. But at this point, I'll still take KD's consistency. But it's like Tatum's right there, though. Like, Tatum is a monster. But I ain't gonna. The hate ain't that strong. I ain't got Eric's hate.
Like I said, Ken had LeBron. So the GMs had Tatum at 47%. But they also listed Durant, Luka, LeBron, and Kawhi. I don't know how Kawhi is still getting votes for best small forward in the league in 2023. Like,
because when he plays, he is.
He don't play. That's the problem. I think it's a clean sweep with power forwards. So, does anybody not have Giannis?
I wouldn't dare.
Take that as a no. The GMs pretty much agree. Like, he got 97% of the vote at power forward.
I mean, he should have been unanimous.
97?
Yeah,
97%. The only other person that got a vote was Kevin Durant.
It's too low. They know they were out here tripping. Somebody hating on him like you hate on Tatum.
Center was almost equally one-sided, which actually surprised me. Who'd you guys have for best center?
Joker.
Jokic.
As did I and Ken, I believe.
Yep, Ken had Joker.
But Jokic got 93% of the vote at center, which, given that Embiid just won MVP last year, was somewhat surprising that it was that overwhelming. Like, I know,
not to me.
Jokic won the title, so like I get where it came from, but I just didn't expect it to be that high.
Shit, they gave Embiid one. Jokic won his. How about that one?
Touche.
Everybody knew what the fuck it was. He'll shut up, nigga. Damn. That's all that was.
I'm gonna just
knew that.
This tea.
Okay, touche. But yeah, we all had Nick joke. So then into some of the questions that were asked of the GM about the off season. They were asked which team made the best moves this off season. So what do you have, Tim?
Boston. I feel like initially their all-in approach with not even an all-in approach, but their trade that they got rid of Marcus Smart and added Porzingis. I don't know. We were all kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, y'all add another big and you extending him and you already got these huge contracts. Like, what are y'all doing? Interesting, whatever. And now that they got Drew, it's like, y'all actually did a pretty good job replacing Smart with Drew. You still have Derek White as a pretty comparable, pretty decent backup. I think they just extended Peyton. Yeah, I understand it's fuck Boston, bro. But
she said Fred said F Boston.
And twice on Thursday.
and you still have Tatum. You still got Brown. Now mixed with Drew. You still got Horford. You add Porzingis. I'm like, okay. They got Pritchard off the bench. They got White off the bench.
I think White gonna start. Triple T, what did it do?
It's possible, but I'm like,
I guess like for me, Boston's offseason was in the aggregate. They got rid of Robert Williams, Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, and Malcolm Brogdon, and brought in Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. So, like, and I think I said this after the trades, like, I think that was a talent upgrade. Like, I think in the aggregate, because of the depth that they lost and like the kind of question marks about Porzingis' health almost annually, like, I think it on balance, like, it's like neutral. I don't want to say neutral, but like I don't know if it's necessarily they got better, but like bringing in Drew definitely took it from it's a little shaky to okay, well at least there was like they came out even.
I feel like they flip-flopped it more. Like their big man was more defensive oriented, so they brought in a more offensive oriented big man. But Smart, yes, he was defensive oriented, but Drew was a little better bucket and better defensively still. So like they upgraded there as well. That's why I felt like Boston, okay, y'all had a good team. Y'all made a good team even better pending health. Sure. But we're talking about on paper at the moment.
You see,
But
one of the
it's
things with
nice.
Boston is that one thing that helped them up was their depth.
Mhm.
So they traded in some of that depth to get stronger, 1 through 6. So it's like, is that trade-off going to be worth it? We're going to see.
Because, yes, they turned. Sorry to cut you off, Camille. But, yes, they turned Marcus Smart into Drew Holiday and they turned Robert Williams into Kristaps Porzingis. But they also changed Malcolm Brogdon into Peyton Pritchard. And they changed, Grant Williams into Luke Cornett. So it's like.
They fuck with Pritchard, though.
Would you say he's better than Malcolm Brogdon or Marcus Smart?
Of course not.
But that's what I'm saying. So you downgrade in certain places, you upgrade in other places. Like we'll see how it fits. And depth doesn't matter as much in the playoffs. Like they can go 6 deep. The Aces are proving you can kind of go 6 deep. But then when injuries hit,
c'est la vie.
Talent drop off is a lot more deep.
Eric, who do you have for best offseason moves?
I was a homer. I said the Bucks. And I say that just because they brought in the perfect complement to Giannis. I don't think, save for maybe Steph, I don't think you can have a better player to pair with your franchise cornerstone player. I think they've talked about it even after the first preseason game together. It's makes my life so much easier having him out here. And they both said the same thing. They're it's just it's completely different looks. Again, we know what the defense can, a problem that it can present. But at the same time, I think that one, if it gets Giannis to, I think he's always going to resign. But if it gives you a 10% chance higher that he's going to resign next year, then that it's worth it on his own. But also, I think that it took them from, running back with the new coach and let's see what happens to solidly, hey, this is the finals contender, finals favorite. So that's where I'm at. Who you got?
I was trying to debate between the Lakers, the Suns, and ironically enough, the Blazers. Because I know the Blazers sounds like a weird one, but we know where they are right now with their franchise and what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And I think they got a great return for Dame, like some of the moves they did. But I'm going to give my vote actually to Phoenix.
That's a great vote.
It's hard to fill out a roster around 3 max players. That's very difficult to do. And they lost a lot of guys they had surrounding those guys last year. Mm-hmm. No more Ayton, no more Baisley. Bismack Biyombo's gone. Torrey Craig out. Chris Paul's gone. Campaign's gone. Terrence Ross is gone. TJ Warren's gone. So you're dang. But they got Grayson Allen. They got Beal, of course. They got Bobo. They got Eric Gordon. They got Nasir Little. They got Yusuf Nurkic, which we talked about a little bit before, but people are looking at talent for talent with the Ayton and Nurkic trade. But
it's a fit.
It's a chemistry thing too, because Ayton wasn't happy in Phoenix. They were holding that man hostage dang near. He tried to leave. They said, no, we're going to match this contract.
Shit, these middies all season and fuck what y'all talking about.
Right. And you couldn't guarantee what kind of effort you were going to get from him night in and night out. And this is the team that's going to try to get a championship. And Nurkic is the kind of center who's I can do my role. Y'all be the stars. I can do my role. And I just love that pickup for them. And the way they're able to fill out that roster around their big 3 with KD, Book, and Beal, I think they did a good job.
Mm-hmm. And that's the benefit of getting your work done early. They made that move at the beginning of the summer, then they could build their entire team knowing okay, that's our foundation. Now the Bucks are not stuck, but they're stuck with the team that they had already built around Giannis, Drew, and Chris. And now you have to try to retrofit it to work with Dame Lillard. So I get where you're coming from. And to the point about Ayton versus Nurkic, it's yes, in a vacuum, probably Ayton he's younger, he's probably more talented, more athletic, blah, blah, blah. But the things that Phoenix needs from a center, Nurkic does all those things better and more willingly than Ayton would have. There's the clip going around of Nurkic on the pick and roll, making a sweet pass, faking somebody out, making a pass to the corner for an open 3. And it's DeAndre Ayton isn't doing that. He's not one, he's not gonna be happy setting that screen. He's like, "Yo, give me the ball, let me shoot like a 20-foot jump."
What y'all doing?
Right. And also he doesn't have that pass in his bag. It's like you need somebody. I always used to talk about it with Ersan Ilyasova. It's like sometimes you just need that player that's kind of gonna be able to fit in between like your stars and kind of keep stuff moving. And you don't need somebody that's just gonna stop, hold the ball, be like, "Hey, should I shoot here? Should I pass here? Should I do this, do that?" Like, no, just like run the offense. And sometimes you just need kind of that competency in that spot.
And that's why I love it so much.
Who did Ken have?
He said either Boston or the Lakers. The Lakers was another team I was looking at. I also think the Lakers had a really good offseason, being able to, re-sign some of the guys they brought in last year and continue to build from what they built at the deadline while adding in a couple little different flavors to the mix.
To the year.
And you said about Portland, I think their biggest thing was they got Scoot in the draft. Like that's the number one. That's the number one thing that they did this offseason. So thank you, Charlotte, for that. What was the next question? What was the most underrated player transaction of the offseason? Timothy.
I know they make a big deal out of it. They did, but they didn't. But I feel like Chris Paul joining the Golden State Warriors would be underrated because of the fact that they were like, okay, how the hell does Chris Paul fit in with the Warriors for one? But truthfully, giving Steph more time, a little bit more time off the ball as opposed to having to have someone create for him and everyone else around him, does that make him more or less dangerous? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and they've been talking to all the offseason, like, okay, yeah, he might come off the bench, or now all of a sudden he might be a starter. And it's like, okay, they're trying to figure it out, sure. But I don't think adding Chris Paul will ever be a negative still at this point in his career, but it could be a positive rather so only being your starting unit or your bench. He brings a level of veteran and a level of leadership to the teams that he's going to be with. But you can see it when he was over in OKC. You seen it when he was over here in Phoenix. Like, he still has something. There's still part of his game that allows him to still fit in almost any team that he goes with. It's just nobody expected Golden State because they already got Steph. It's just like, what the fuck? And they got Clay. So it's like, that's weird. Like, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna move them down one each? But I mean, honestly, I think it might work.
You said Fred said that CP3 is a jinx.
We'll see. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if he's not there starting, he's going to be a great backup point guard for him.
I mean, I can see that. I don't know. I think he's starting for sure now just because Draymond got hurt. But we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be a weird fit. Just seeing him in the yellow and blue has been jarring in the preseason.
Look weird.
Yeah.
Not gonna hold you.
But I believe he's a professional that can make it work, bro. Like, truly.
So we already talked about the Suns because I had Nurk/Bill. The Bill part of that just being he's the most overqualified third option in the league. Like, we've talked about it with the Bucks and like Chris Middleton. Like, this makes his life so much easier. Like, now he's getting like the third best defender on each team. But like, Bradley Beal has averaged 30 points multiple times in his career, and now, he's
number 3.
He's number 3 on that team. But my answer is Marcus Smart. Like, that is the perfect fit of town and player and culture that they strive to have. Like, I think when they made the trade, I was like, this is kind of like combining Tyus Jones and Dylan Brooks into one player. And especially with Ja being out the first 25 games, like, it gives them a competent point guard to kind of right the ship going forward. And I just think for their culture specifically, like, I know Derrick Rose in his media day interview was like, I'm not here to babysit Ja, which they're not. But I think that having real vets in that locker room is only going to help that team, especially dudes like Marcus Smart. So I think that would be a really good positive for that organization long term.
And to your point about us already talking about Phoenix, I also thought Nurk to Phoenix was a great underrated player transaction this offseason. So I'm going to say Jordan Poole to Washington. Now, I know they got a lot of guards over there in Washington, but we know Poole going to be getting his playing time. He might even be the shooting guard with Tyus being over there as well now. So, like, listen, I just want to see Jordan Poole with a green light, and he's going to have a big green light in Washington. And I think it's just going to be a fun team to watch, just bucket-wise. I'm not sure how they're going to stop anybody in Washington, but the buckets will be had, and I think it's actually going to be really good for him to kind of be out of that, Golden State situation after everything that went down with Draymond and him getting a chance to just really run it up with Kuz. I think it's going to be fun. So I'm going to give mine to Jordan Poole in Washington. Like, I don't know what they're building exactly, but we're going to be able to see this season which pieces here are going to be those cornerstones for him to continue to build upon.
And their rookie has looked really good. Bilal Koulibaly, like very raw. Victor Wembanyama's teammate in France.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's looked good so far. This is a very wild comparison, but stick with me. So, like, I don't know if y'all saw the clip of Stephen A. Smith sending shots at Jason Whitlock.
No.
Basically, he's like, I hate that dude. He's a scum of the earth.
He is.
He ain't wrong. But, like, I sent that to my brother. I'm like, these two were only ever going to be, like, the best of friends or vicious enemies. Like, there was no in between. And, like, I feel like that's Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma. Like, either they're going to be, like, tight or they're going to be fighting at midcourt over the ball by, like, the third week of the season.
She said Fred added he going to be what Brooks thought he was. Probably.
Artifacts. Yeah. Which team would be the most fun to watch? Camille, I'll start with you.
Them boys playing the Bucks tonight, them Thunder. Give me a little chat with SGA, Giddey, Lou Dort, the Jalen's. Like, I'm definitely tuning into Thunder games this year.
Yeah, there are 3 games I have circled on my calendar for Bucks tickets this year. One is the Thunder. One is Drew's return game to when they play Boston. And then the third is San Antonio. So that's my pick. San Antonio. I just want to see Wemby play basketball as much as possible.
I actually have tickets to that game.
Nice.
Spurs and the Heat game.
Nice. Yeah, no, give me all the Wemby. Like, I don't care who else is on that roster. Like, I just want to watch that dude who is so weird and cold. Like, I don't even – like, he's doing stuff that – it's like watching rookie year Giannis where it's like he got much better coordination and much more skill than rookie Giannis did, but it's just like you can kind of see like the outlines of when this dude puts on like weight and gets like his full grown man athleticism and all that stuff. It's going to be nasty. So just protect dude at all costs, but it's fun to watch so far.
Pause, she's here.
He said Fred, he is so long. He also paused himself there. There you go. I see Ken had the Suns for his team. That'd be the most fun to watch.
Yeah, I would say my pick would be Phoenix too. Like, it's not the Nets, but I feel like it's the more professional Nets. But you have 3 guys now on a team who 2 of which, well, damn near all 3 of them have been in situations where they've had to be the guy by themselves. Yeah, Book, Bill, and Durant. Yeah, so. Well, no, not Durant. Durant ain't never had to be the guy by himself. He always has to help. But still, that's not – you get what I'm saying.
He was the guy. He wasn't by himself.
Right. He had to get it out the mud, in essence. And now you finally go, okay, I tried it with my guys who I felt like are top 75 guys. They should be straight. Nah, didn't work out. But I have these 2 other guys here who are at this point in their career just as talented and probably can go ahead and we can figure this out. What we couldn't figure out in Brooklyn, and so plus he will probably be more inclined to try to make it work even more. So I feel like that Phoenix team, while they're trying to gel and figure themselves out, because they have a head start on most of the other new squads since they started at the end of the season. So they'll have the little step up. They've had the summer to kind of have their dinners, get their shit together, and now the preseason. And once the regular season rolls around, I feel like they'll be a little bit more well-oiled machine. And they'll probably be hella fun to watch. Like you said, Bill's now the number 3 option, and Bill is the number 1 option on most squads.
I would say most at this point, but a lot.
I give him 2 then. Worst 2.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, what shit? Last year, what did he do? Like 28? Probably somewhere around. Well, shit. No, probably like 25, because I know it was kind of rough last year. Anyways, regardless, you have added another quarter-century player, a quarter mark, to your per-sport game tally with that player as your third option. So I feel like it is going to be fun watching them, seeing how Book get his, because they both was facilitators at one point or another. Durant, he can move the ball if he needs to, but again, sharpshooter, sniper, he knocking that motherfucker down. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Phoenix is one of those teams that I'm excited to really watch this year.
Agreed.
Just to clear it up, Bradley Beal averaged 23 last year.
Yeah, it was a rough year for him last year.
So then we can go into the standings predictions portion of the program. As a reminder, we'll do the top 10 in each conference. So that's the 6 playoff teams and the 4 play-in teams.
Oh shit!
Camille, I will start with you because I know Tim didn't do his homework.
I think it's
I'm gonna give him some time to type it in. Camille, what you got?
All right, in the East. I'm gonna go Boston with the 1 seed, Milwaukee with the 2 seed, Cleveland with the 3 seed, the New York Knicks 4 seed. Now here's where I start to get a little I'm gonna put Philly at 5 right now. Still don't know what's gonna happen with James Harden. Right now he's saying he's gonna play, but he expects to be traded still. I don't know how that's gonna work out. So Philly can drastically.
He's a liar, and I will never be part of the organization that he's whatever the hell he said.
So I don't know how that's going to go. So right now I just put Philly into that 5 spot on this date. I got Miami at 6, Brooklyn at 7, Atlanta at 8, Orlando at 9, and Indiana at 10.
Since you brought up Harden, checking in, because we did this periodically over the summer, do you think that he gets traded in the near future?
No. I actually think Daryl Morey's going to just dig his heels in and say play.
Get you, buddy. No, I agree with you.
Not no time soon that's going to happen.
I'm trying to, again, read the tea leaves, like, with the different reports. Like, every report that comes out, like, that's coming from somewhere, somebody wants that information out. So, like, there are conflicting reports where it's like, well, you know, the Clippers are shopping their pick to get more picks to satisfy what Philly wants. So, like, on some levels, it's like, okay, well, stuff is working. And other places are like, there's no traction on the deal. So, I don't know what to really get away from that situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if it just comes to we're not going to get a better deal at any point, so might as well just take what the Clippers are offering at this point. And we know what half engaged James Harden looks like, and I don't think that does anybody any favors at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's within the next month, but also knowing that December 15th, so many players, like half the league becomes trade eligible again. So like maybe that is when stuff starts getting, you know, stuff starts moving towards a resolution. But with that being said, my teams in the East are Milwaukee 1, Boston 2. I also have Cleveland 3, Miami 4. It's just Miami is always weird for me because like I don't know what level of engagement we'll get from regular season Jimmy Butler.
Right.
And I feel like now he has kind of like a motivation to kind of prove people wrong. And prove like, oh, we didn't need Dame, we didn't need this, we didn't need that. So like maybe he does actually try in the first half of the season. Like when it comes to like picking all-stars, that's why I'm also like, well shit, if Jimmy like half-asses it for the whole first half of the season, like he won't be an all-star. But yeah, I stuck him at 4. I just feel like he'll come in motivated. 5, I got the Knicks. 6, Orlando. I'm really high on Orlando. I was really high on Detroit last year, and that blew up in my face. But Orlando was my team this year. 7, I got Philly. Just because if they take the Harden deal, I feel like they'll be worse on the court. And if they don't take the Harden deal, then he'll be worse on the court. So
yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of like they're screwed either way. 8, Atlanta. 9, Indiana. 10, Brooklyn. Tim, did you have time to finish your list?
I did.
Real quick, why Brooklyn so far down in the standings to you? You just don't think they have like the The
I don't think they
guy,
had a top end talent. Like they were terrible last year after the trade. Like the only reason they made the playoffs is because KD and Kyrie got them such a head start. Like they were significantly below 500 team last year. And while I think individually they have really high level role players, like I don't think they have like the top end talent night in, night out to really compete with the teams in the East.
That's fair. I was like, I think they're going to be in that play-in contending role. I don't know. I think Ben Simmons is going to have a pretty good year, which is weird to say after all these years. But I didn't have Brooklyn that much higher than you, but it was just interesting to see him at 10. Tim, what's your Eastern standing predictions for the season?
Got the Bucks at 1, Boston at 2, Cleveland at 3, the Knicks at 4, Nets at 5, Philly at 6, Miami at 7, Indiana at 8, Detroit at 9, and Orlando at 10.
Run that back for me one more time.
Okay, I got number 1 is Milwaukee, 2 Boston, 3 Cleveland, 4 the Knicks, 5 is the...
That's what you said, Philly.
Philly, yeah. 5 is Philly. 6 is the Heat. 7 is Indiana. 8 Detroit. 9. I'm missing somebody.
Oh, you missed somebody.
Milwaukee.
You got Brooklyn at 5. Sorry, that's what it was. Brooklyn was 5, then Philly.
I thought so. I thought that Brooklyn was 5. I got them at. Okay. Milwaukee, Boston, Cleveland, New York, Brooklyn, Philly, Miami, Indiana, Detroit, Orlando.
So it looks like Atlanta is a team that you don't have in there.
Correct.
I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I'm not really high on Atlanta. Just
they barely made it last year with John Collins.
What about Detroit is giving you belief that they're a playing team this year?
Last year they missed out on Cade Cunningham. Like he missed majority of the season last year. They gave Jaden Ivey a chance to kind of get his feet wet and things of that nature. Picking up Marvin Bagley, he started playing well with Detroit. Picking up James Wiseman, he started playing well with Detroit. So now you have them at Wiseman ain't there no more?
he is. I don't know if he was playing well.
They both were playing better, and their front court actually didn't want looking bad towards the end of the year with them too. They still got Bogey. On top of having Cade Cunningham come back, and then they picked up a Sort Thompson. I think they have a squad that has enough pop in order for them to be at the bottom half of the Eastern Conference for a playoff hunt. As long as nobody has to go out for an entire year again or anything of that nature, I feel like they have enough younger talent that's hungry enough to try to at least scrap and claw for the bottom. Like they'll be down there fighting with Orlando or something. Like I feel like they could be, because I feel like Orlando is one of those. Okay, we'll try to include them in the bottom half because of the fact that they're still a younger team kind of finding their identity around Paolo. Paolo's probably going to have a good year, I feel like, if he just continues with the way he's been playing. He had a good year last year, looked good over the summer. He looks like he's going to be a sure thing. They continue to build that team around them, which they didn't have a terrible team last year. They just weren't good, so to speak, as a whole. So this year, I feel like with Franz coming in, he got a couple more seasons under his belt now. You got Paolo over there now with a whole season under his belt now. They probably will get rid of one of them million point guards, but they finally found some, like, they're both teams that are coming up and figuring it out. And so I feel like they're at the point now where, okay, we can fight for a bottom tier of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
I'm with Triple T in the comments. Detroit is not better than Orlando.
Yeah, I think for me, Orlando is like...
They were. I said they were about the same.
You had Detroit at 9 and Orlando at 10.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Like, but again, they're about the same. So for me, it's splitting hairs.
Well, like, okay, I was gonna say, like, for me, Orlando is kind of like the inverse of Brooklyn, where they got themselves in such a hole. But like like the first couple months of the season, they lost pretty much all their guards. Once their guards started coming back, they were actually above 500 team for a large majority of last season. So I think that, you know, obviously progression isn't linear, so like there could be a bit of a regression with certain players, but I think that their foundation is really strong. And that's why I see like them taking kind of a leap. I can see Detroit having a similar season to Orlando last year, where it's kind of shaky. They got a new coach, but they got Monty in there. they're still trying to figure out their young pieces, but then like once they start kind of getting into a groove, like I can see them being like we're not really challenging yet for the play-in, but like we're on the right track going up. Like that's the way I look at those teams. Like I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just saying like that's why I disagree with like they're neck and neck. I think that Orlando is a step above because like they already went through the things that I think Detroit goes through this year. If that makes sense.
Real quick, I just want to say Robin Lopez is not it.
Yeah. We knew that when he signed, didn't we?
He is making my head hurt.
I saw somebody say that the Brook tax is worse than the Giannis, or the Robin tax is worse than the Thanasis tax, and I'm not sure I disagree with that.
I would rather see Thanasis out there than Robin Lopez at this point. Cannon had his Eastern predictions. He had Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Philly, New York, Miami, Brooklyn, Orlando, Atlanta, and Indiana.
Yep, I'm cool with all that. It seems like we all have pretty much the same tiers, which is
for the most part.
Milwaukee, Boston, then Cleveland, and then it's like Knicks, Heat, Philly, kind of in that mix, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
West. I'll start with Ken's. He had Phoenix 1, Denver 2, Lakers 3, Kings 4, Mavs 5, Memphis 6, Golden State 7, Clippers 8, OKC 9, Minneapolis, Minnesota 10. Before I read off my list, the West had me in the head. Like, there are so many good teams.
So many teams.
And I shouldn't even say so many good teams. There are so few bad teams in the West. Like, I think Portland will be bad. I think the Spurs will still be bad. But I think everybody else at least can fight.
I think the Jazz might take a step back.
What'd you say?
The Jazz might take a step back this season from where they were last year. And I mean, like, they were scrappy. Like, they weren't. So
I think they're actually better than they were last year, which like their record might be worse. But I think that they have, you know, if you look at who they brought in versus who they got rid of, like I think they honestly got better on balance. And last year was kind of like a house money year. So
that's fair.
Again, like I can see them at least, like I think they'll pack it in because they don't want to be good necessarily. But I can see them, like we look up in mid-January and they're like a play-in team at that point. Wouldn't surprise me. Do you want to do yours first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go.
Okay. So I got Phoenix 1. I think this is different from what I had a couple weeks ago when we ranked like our top 4 teams in each conference.
That was a different question.
It was.
To be fair.
But I mean, I looked at it the same way basically. And Phoenix, for me, like once I saw them on the court in the preseason and seeing how the different pieces fit together, like I don't think I had an appreciation. Like I think I was still looking at last year's team and like, I mean, like they'll be good. Like they have a really good team, but like the rest of the they have a really good trio, and then the rest of the roster is kind of poo. But the more I look at it, like the pieces, they were very intentional about the team that they built, and I think that they're actually going to be really tough to guard. And much like the Bucks, I feel like they're betting on just being able to outscore a lot of teams, a lot of nights, which can, you know, become a fool's errand in the playoffs. But that team is just going to bleed points like the entire season, like in the good way. So I got Phoenix 1, Denver 2, Lakers 3, Clippers 4, Golden State 5, Memphis 6, Minnesota 7, OKC 8, Sac 9, Pelicans 10. I do not have Dallas.
See, Dallas, I have some faith, and this is probably me being a Marquette homer with them getting Omax over there and them saying like we're gonna play this rook, but like Omax can really play some defense. And I like that they brought in Grant Williams. I feel like they're trying to balance that roster a little bit more to go with the offensive heavy duo of Luka and Kyrie. But then it comes like, what's your faith in Jason Kidd to actually get this to coalesce properly?
Also, what's your faith in Kyrie not going crazy for a month?
I don't think he will this year. I think he's going to be cooling in Texas this year.
Okay.
Big hope. I know. I understand. That pause of silence was necessary. I get it. My Western Conference, I'm gonna go Denver at 1, LA Lakers at 2, Phoenix Suns at 3, Sacramento Kings at 4. Sacramento's interesting. I know they're bringing over the MVP from like the Euro League over to their roster. I don't know too much about his game, but that seems like it could be if it works out, like an addition of a really top end talent. 5, I'm going Memphis, 6, Dallas, 7, Golden State, 8, Oklahoma City, 9, the Clippers, and 10, the Pelicans. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm actually going to flip that. I'm taking the Pelicans out. I'm going to put Minnesota in.
Okay.
Slice
Yeah,
it
Minnesota's
like
tricky.
the
Like I believe, like I don't think anybody can believe more in Anthony Edwards than I believe in Anthony Edwards. So like that's not the issue. And like last year, I kind of thought that they would be one of those teams where it's like they were great in the regular season and kind of flame out in the playoffs. And that didn't work. But part of that was because like they couldn't be healthy at the same time. Like Cat missed so much of the season. They never really got into a groove with the double big look. I think part of my optimism for Minnesota is a lot of my optimism for Minnesota is Anthony Edwards by itself. But I do think that year 2 of this kind of weird front court combination will be more fruitful than it was in year 1.
Okay. I still have questions. That's why I was like, I'm not sure about Minnesota. I love Ant though, but that big thing is weird.
And I mean, bringing in Mike Conley at midseason, like that helped a lot.
That's true. Tim,
Yes.
what's your Western Conference standings?
One, I'm shocked that you said LA at 2.
I really believe in the Lakers this year. Like I really like this team, and honestly, I don't want to jump the gun here, but I'm thinking Anthony Davis is going to have a big year. It's all health pending. But I like this Lakers team a lot. I like how Darvin Ham is coaching them. I like the scheme. I like the players. I like the fit.
Fair enough. I got Denver at 1, Phoenix at 2, Sacramento at 3, Golden State at 4, Dallas at 5, the Lakers at 6, Utah at 7, the Clippers at 8, Memphis at 9, and the Pelicans at 10. I'm with y'all. I feel like it's stacked. I feel like Ja missing the chunk of the beginning of the games is going to pay a difference in where Memphis lies in the West because the West would be so tight.
You don't think Marcus Smart can be able to make that up a little bit for him?
Ja also brings offense. Like I know they got Bang. Yeah, I know Bang be cooking. I know Triple J offensively is not as consistent as he is defensively.
That's fair.
Ja made up the rest of it. I'm not expecting Smart to maintain that for them. No. But like you said, I don't expect there to be a major follow. I just think that early games is going to be a difference maker in their season later on in the season. 25
games is a lot of games.
It's a lot of games.
Yeah.
So now that's why I got Memphis down there closer to the bottom. I feel like they'll survive long enough for Ja to come around and kind of steer them and be a dangerous playing team or something to that nature.
You got Utah over the Thunder?
Yeah, I'm of the mindset that they'll jump forward as opposed to taking a step back. And I felt like they had a pretty decent year last year. They had the players that they was all kind of surprised that the kind of team that they was running last year. And I feel like with another year under their belt and the addition of John Collins, they could be nice looking. I feel like they might continue to take that step. John gives them adds a little bit defense, even though I don't know, man. I thought John Collins was supposed to be like this great defensive guy. He's
not though.
Like he's cool for his athleticism and the way he's supposed to be able to protect him. Like he's cool, but he also brings some offense to them too. And maybe who knows, a different environment may spark the rest of that defensive potential that we thought he should have had. But no, they have a good team across the board because they don't have a superstar outside of marketing, so they should be good.
Sorry, the 3-pointer that the Thanasis just hit just blew. I didn't know why he was taking it, and then he cashed it.
You know that meme where they be like, "I'm pussy." That's how he plays. He plays like that at all times.
Yeah, so those are our predictions as far as standings, and then we'll go to all-star teams. So we'll name off our 5 starters and then our 7 bench players. So as a reminder, it's 2 guards, 3 front court in the starters, 2 guards, 3 front court, 2 wild cards as the bench players. We started with the East last time, so we'll start with the West this time. If the playoff teams were hard, the freaking all-stars in the West was just, it had me in a headlock. Like I listed out like all the people I thought like could be all-stars, and like the list in the West is just like, damn, like how am I supposed to pick? It's like the starters actually wasn't that bad. I had Steph, LeBron, Durant, Jokic, Luka. That did mean that Book and Shea, who I think are all-star starter talents, got moved to the bench, but is Luka what you gonna do? So I had those 2 as my guards. AD, Zion, and Victor Wembanyama as my bigs. And then my wild cards are Anthony Edwards and my biggest wild card that I could pull out my ass, Jalen Williams. I'm a big believer in Jalen Williams from the Thunder.
Wing Jalen?
Yes, Wing Jalen. Jalen.
That's quite a,
what'd you say?
That's quite a
it is, but and maybe I should have put OKC up higher a little bit, but I think that if things go right, like with Chet, like they're ready to take off. Like that is a team that I think is primed and ready to really show some stuff this year. Giannis went to dunk for a buzzer beater and didn't get it off in time. But yeah, like I just believe in that dude's talent. It's kind of like Desmond Bane too. Like those are 2 dudes that I was really high on in the draft, and like both of them showed me things as rookies and first year or early career players where I'm like, they're talented, and like I could easily see him making that jump. I don't really believe it, but I wanted to put that out there just because like I think that OKC is on the rise, and like he'll be a big part of why.
I low-key think that with Ja being out, Desmond Bane might actually make an all-star case this year. But my all-star team in the West, like you said, this is a bloodbath. I'm so sorry. This is the prediction. I don't know how it's going to shake out. Injuries and everything happen, which I hope we don't have many of this season. But again, when you look at who you're predicting to make all-star teams, it's just a credit to how deep the NBA is right now with talent. It's a lot. This is not them 2000 teams where you're like, oh, well, I guess the Hawks gonna send 4 people because they just the number 1 seed. Like, no, like it's a lot of dudes out here who got some real talent. So my starters, I believe, are the same as yours. Steph and Luka backcourt, KD, LeBron, and Jokic in the front court. My bench, give me SGA and Devin Booker as my first 2 guards. Then give me Jaren Jackson Jr., Zion, and Anthony Davis as my 3 bigs. My 2 wild cards, I'm going to say Jamal Murray makes his first All-Star game. I don't believe he's made it so far. And then Anthony Edwards also gets that All-Star nod again. Sorry, Kyrie. Sorry, De'Aaron Fox. Sorry, Domantas Sabonis. Sorry, Kawhi. Sorry, Paul George. Sorry, Bradley Beal.
Boy.
Cat. Like
Lowry, Markkanen. I don't know if you said Kyrie, but Kyrie.
So many. All right, Tim, who are your West?
I got 13 people on this damn list. I had 14.
You only get 12.
I know. All right, so we got Steph Doncic, Durant, Davis, Sabonis. Are my starters.
Wait, say the front court again.
Durant, Davis, and Sabonis.
No, so no LeBron?
Not starting.
I think. Okay, show list. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm trying to take into account the fan vote too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think LeBron's a lot because of the fan vote.
Yeah,
like, there's no way
LeBron's gonna get more fan votes than LeBron.
That's fair. Not this year. Okay,
Like LeBron could not play a game in the first half of the season and still be pulled in as a starter.
Like you know that man gonna be a captain.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Go ahead, move LeBron to your starter and put Sabonis.
Sabonis is gonna have to come off the bench.
I feel it.
Problem is, all right. So LeBron is at 5. That sounds so weird to say, but then I have.
Wait, you took Jokic out?
No, it's a fuck. I forgot about goddamn.
You put Davis in. You said AD over Jokic.
I forgot about fucking Jokic. I got 14 names and none of these motherfuckers say Jokic.
Okay, here you fix your list. Fix your list.
LeBron ain't starting on my list, just so y'all know. It's gonna be Jokic.
Well, hold on. Put a pin in. You work on your list. I'll read off Ken's. So he has Curry, Luka, LeBron, KD, Jokic. His bench is Kyrie and De'Aaron Fox. Then he has Booker and Shea.
I don't think his bench is right, fam. He got too many guards.
He got too many guards. He had Anthony Edwards, Bradley Beal, AD, Jaren Jackson, and Sabonis. So he has one too many guards, I think.
That man got like 9 people on the bench.
Wait, 1, 2.
I don't think he finished it. I think he was still trying to work through it.
7. Yeah, he got too many people. Sorry.
With his starters.
Right. His starters a lot, and then some combination of Kyrie, Fox, Booker, Shea, and Bill, AD, Jaren, and Sabonis.
We'll have to have him clarify next week.
Okay. Maybe my list might be valid, but okay. I think I'm ready.
All right, go ahead, brother.
Right,
Start with your starters again.
I got Steph Doncic, Durant, LeBron, Jokic.
Okay. That's the same 4 or 5 we got.
Yep.
Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then I got De'Aaron Fox, SGA, Edwards, Zion, AD, Wemby, and Kawhi.
Is it Kawhi?
And Kawhi.
So no Booker?
I feel like.
Hey,
like
I'm just asking. I just want to make sure you're not forgetting.
Like
if you're choosing not to have him on.
About Booker, but like you said, it's one of those years where it's gonna be hard to be like, okay, we got multiple guys from one team on several different instances. So you got Book, Bill, Durant over there, but Fox is gonna be the lead. He's gonna be the leading factor. If the Kings end up being good, it's gonna be because of Fox and Sabonis. More than likely, they're gonna go put Fox in over Sabonis. Sabonis probably catch the back end from like a reserve or select or something like that. If the OKC is doing well, it's gonna be SGA leading that shit for the most part. He's gonna be the face of that. So now you have Book, who's over there with Durant and Bill, or you have Fox and you have. That's just my logic, though. That's what I'm thinking. That people be thinking about sometimes, like, oh, well, they ain't really got the same help as Book, so we go put them in as opposed to putting Book in, who got Durant and so next one. But it's Durant. It's still KD though. So we go put KD in. So that's why I'm like, I don't have Book. That's why I don't have Booker.
Hey, I was just making sure you didn't forget him. Like
your logic. I forgot about. You know what? I always forget about Jokic. Every year when we do this, I literally forget about Jokic every single year. That's
like your favorite player.
Correct. So that's on par.
All right, let's move to the East.
Oh fuck, we ain't do the East. Sorry. I'll do Ken's first.
He got his bench.
He got enough people. So we'll do his next week. Camille, I'll let you go first. We're going reverse.
All right, my starters. Let me get Dame Dollar. Let me get Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. Joel's gonna start. Finally, you got that this year, I think. My bench. Give me Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Mikal Bridges, Bam Adebayo, and then my wild cards. I'm gonna go Trae Young. I initially had DeMar DeRozan, but now I'm gonna keep it. Give me Paolo. I'm gonna take Paolo over DeMar.
I also just subbed in Paolo as my last forward. So my starters are the same, I think. Dame, Spider, Giannis, and Tatum. Bench is Jalen Brown and So I just had fun with it. So Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday as my guards. Middleton, Mobley, and Bam as my forwards. And then my wild cards are Jalen Brunson and Paolo.
Okay.
You think the Bucks and the Celtics get 3 apiece?
Yes. Just for the – because, I mean, like, one, they're the best teams, I feel like, kind of head and shoulders above everybody else. So I think that because, like, they'll both be going hard in the regular season, like, it'll be, like, 7 to 10 games separating the second place team and third place team at that point. And that, like I said, I just had fun with it.
Okay. 1, I got Dame. 2, I got Mitchell. 3, I got Tatum. 4, Giannis. 5, Embiid. Bench though, I got Holiday and Halliburton. I also have Jimmy Butler and Banchero, Darius Garland, and I got Butler on here twice. Evan Mobley. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was Holiday.
You need one more, just wild card. Anybody,
and everybody on the East. Oh, I didn't say Brown. Jaylen Brown.
You did not.
Okay. We got a comment in the comments saying go Lions. They're talking about basketball right now, man.
Go Lions. What you talking about, bro? We ain't know what you mean talking about that no more, bro. Y'all doing
on basketball.
Bite some ankles.
Okay, really quick, going through the season-ending award winners. I think Rookie of the Year. Anybody going?
Sweet.
Yeah,
Wemby.
Like, I think Chet might challenge for it, but I got Wemby.
Brandon Miller already lost over there in Charlotte. Ain't nobody said shit about him.
Who? Oh, Brandon Miller.
See?
No, I just didn't hear what you had said. In that context clues was like, oh, Brandon Miller. Also, Scoot. Like, I think Scoot he's already shown some stuff in the preseason, like just being NBA ready standpoint. Clutch Player of the Year. Tim.
Okay.
Yep.
We're going with Dame.
3 Dames and the Steph.
Yep.
I
also had Dame, as did Ken. Camille has Steph. Defensive Player of the Year.
Giannis.
Yeah, give me Giannis.
I think they'll give it to him this year.
Y'all two got Giannis. Ken got AD. I said Drew just because his reputation jumped like 3 different levels. Most Improved Player. I already tipped my hand. I got Jalen Williams.
I went with Anthony Edwards because that's how this award is now trending. Like, it's kind of like who takes that superstar jump.
I'm going to go with Camille with Edwards.
Okay. Sixth Man of the Year. Ken got Emmanuel Quickly. I said Bobby Portis because that's just my answer every year. I'm going to say for last. Tim, who you got?
Chris Paul.
I don't hate that. Camille, who you got?
Drew Holiday.
So
I think Drew comes off the bench in Boston.
If they do, I mean, I know he won't look at it as doing them dirty, but if they do my dude dirty like that, they deserve all the losses.
That's how the tea leaves are starting to read. They've asked him about coming off the bench, and he's like, I don't care, man. I just want to win. And I was like, oh, he might come off the bench.
Like, Drew does like that humble dude stuff, and he is a humble dude, but I do like some of that shit burns him up. Like, and he won't let it show. Like, I've heard interviews with him where he's like, people used to ask him about like different awards, and like the year I think before he came to the Bucks, he didn't get all defensive team. And he's like, yeah, as long as I have the respect of like my peers and stuff like that, he's like, I don't really care. But you could tell he cared, but he don't care.
I feel it.
Like, he takes it as disrespect, but he's like, as long as the people that I care about, whose opinions I care about, respect me, it don't really matter. But I think starting is a point of pride for a lot of these dudes. Coach of the Year, who you got?
Darvin Ham.
Ken said Mike Brown. I said Adrian Griffin because if it's a first year coach and he wins a bunch of games, typically what they do. Tim, who you got?
I'll go with Mr. Malone of Denver. Go ahead and text the West again.
Interesting. All right, big award. MVP.
I think now that they finally gave the participation trophy away, we can go ahead and talk about the real MVPs, and I'll put my vote in for Giannis, but they might give it to Doncic because he's still on that here nigga damn list.
I think Dame and Giannis together make me question if Giannis could get MVP.
I thought about that, but I'm a homer, so I also went with Giannis.
I'm tipping my hat here. Anthony Davis. I think it's his time.
Ooh.
Wait. So Giannis and Dame kind of cancel
because
out, but LeBron and Anthony Davis don't.
No, because LeBron, I feel like is at a different stage in his career. Like LeBron's going to do whatever he do, but if the Lakers are going to be a championship contending team, it rests on the back of Anthony Davis. It goes as far as he can play defense and as far as he can contribute on offense. Like he is their ultimate two-way guy on that team. Like it all is on the back of Anthony Davis, which is somewhat terrifying with his injury history. But like if he can put together a healthy season, and I feel like Anthony Davis also has a chip on his shoulder this year, like with all the different noise, just hearing stuff they talk about in camp, how Ham wants to use him. Like I think we're going to have a big AD year.
Did I see correctly that Darvin Ham walked back the 6 threes game thing?
He should have. I don't know if he did, but that's excessive. He does not even taking those 6 threes a game.
Tim, you said Giannis?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then the final prediction we have is NBA Finals. So for this, tell us the 2 teams you got, who's winning, and how many games.
Ken had Lakers in Boston.
Huh?
I said Ken had Lakers in Boston.
Fuck Boston. I'm assuming he has Lakers sweeping Boston. Like we can just kind of pencil.
He'll probably stay in 5 or 6 or something like that.
I got a repeat of 2021. Bucks in 6 over the Suns.
Ditto.
Bucks over Lakers in 7.
Okay.
That'd be the one we're waiting for, man.
Yeah. Any of the not Ken's, but any of these other ones, like I'm very happy with any of the outcomes. It don't really matter. Usually we would play who we play for, but Ken.
I gotta wait for my partner.
I'm kidding. But we'll do that at a later date.
I forgot we had all this transaction stuff still. Man, listen.
Hey, we ain't gotta talk about it, bro.
A bunch of injuries happened in the NFL. Man, listen. That's what
we said it was gonna be an NBA preview show, not transaction show.
You're right. But I do got a quick blow the whistle before we get out of here.
I got one too. So
I'm blowing the whistle on NBA 2K players who ain't adjusting to the fact that they changed shooting again. All they changed in NBA 2K this time around here was latency. It's not as laggy as it was before. So now people have spent a month on this game, had the jump shot muscle memorized, and now they can't hit a shot because they still using the same timing they had when the game was lagging. Watch your hands, watch the animation, and make the shot stop complaining and play the game.
Very well said. I don't know anything about 2K, but I'm assuming that people are just bitching for no reason.
It's excessive at this point.
Every year.
Yeah. Mine is on X, formerly known as Twitter. According to Forbes or Fortune.com, they're implementing a $1 per year subscription for Twitter access to be able to tweet and.
It's been real, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm gone. Like it's not that it's $1 because $1 ain't shit, but it's like it's the principle. Like don't charge me for Twitter.
We knew it was going that direction. Then he ran it back because he tried to do it right away, and he like, no, I was lying. You ain't gotta pay for shit. No, I'm gonna slow roll it out because then he go do like these motherfucking other companies. It's $1 today. It's gonna be $5 tomorrow. It's gonna be $15 later. It's just the entryway. It's a gateway drug. The dollar is a gateway drug.
Yeah, Elon, if you broke, just say that.
Like, bro, he really finna charge and he probably thought about. He's like, it's millions on here. If I would just charge everybody $1, I'm straight. Millions.
That's
some people,
bro. Nobody asked you to buy this company.
Nobody.
Twitter ain't need you.
Nobody. You would, and then you came in starting shit, kicking shit up, firing niggas for no reason. Not remember passwords, getting infiltrated, all kind of shit. Like, what the hell been going on? And then all of a sudden, now X is now porn. X is the porn videos. That's what it is. X is Twitter is. He named it X for a reason. He wanted it to be X videos. Wanted to be.
Here you go.
And now you paying for it.
All right, man.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, no. Blow the whistle. Like,
That's
Look at other rich nigga shit. Leave the internet alone. You already got Starlink. Why you want more?
Well, all right. That's the show this week, y'all. We hope y'all enjoy for sure. Appreciate everybody who tuned in live in the comments. Appreciate everybody who's listening. As a reminder, please share the show, like the video on the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube. All those different free ways to support the pod, we appreciate.
Y'all don't let Elon stress me out.
Pardon words.
we're not Twitter. We don't charge you.
We ain't trying to charge y'all nothing. We just want y'all to spread the word about Tech File.
But if you want to hit our hands, you know, like we
ain't gonna say no to no free money.
Did anybody send you anything for your tickets?
No.
If we'll send you well wishes.
This is my disappointed face.
That's all right. That's all right. Parting words. Hey man, I just want to say listen, keep your peoples up in prayer. Check in on your peoples. Pray for your families. If you got some extra prayers to spare, throw some up for mine. Another funeral this week. So yeah, man, everybody's just chugging along trying to get through life. So always be kind and support where you can. We're gonna get out of here. If you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On the Twitter for now, Instagram, these PSN 2K streets at Camille Monet. If you're watching the YouTube, it's right there at the bottom of the screen. At Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wow. At Bucks Burner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
I cannot get my finger to do.
Ken's not here this week, but he is everyday_gentleman on Instagram, Snapchat. K Harris 216 on Twitter, aka X.
That's it. That's it for him.
I think that's it.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. I will holler at y'all. Be easy.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Y'all stay safe and be easy, as Tim be saying.